God's grace, we have been brought to this place. Brought here to fight for His glory and His name.
To create an effective artillery position, place your artillery where it has good sight of the enemy's deployment zone. Place spear units on both flanks of the artillery and infantry in front of the spearmen. Commence bombarding your enemy and force him to come to you. When the enemy gets close, move your infantry to intercept, but be careful not to shoot them with your own artillery. You've pressed the Fire at Will button for the first time. This toggles Fire at Will on and off for the selected troops. Toggle Fire at Will off if you wish to preserve ammunition. When under fire from enemy artillery, you will suffer fewer casualties if you put your men into loose formation. Left-click on Show Me How to see how to change formation. The enemy has brought up artillery to bombard your forces. Use a cavalry unit to skirt around the enemy army and attack the artillery from behind. Poor quality infantry with armor and shields make great targets for drawing fire from enemy archers. Use them to protect your more valuable units. You have pressed the loose formation button for the first time. You'll notice the troops you've selected spread out into a more relaxed formation. Use this formation to reduce casualties from missile fire. This button swaps the units between loose and normal formations.
Spread out! Archers of Venice! March! Archers of Venice!
Crossbows are superior to normal bows in their greater ability to penetrate armor. Use your crossbowmen to target more heavily armored troops. You have pressed the Skirmish Mode button for the first time. This button toggles Skirmish Mode on and off for the selected troops. When in Skirmish Mode, troops will avoid getting into hand-to-hand combat by keeping their distance from enemy troops. Missile troops, like archers, are always in Skirmish Mode. You will need to turn the Skirmish Mode off if you want them to stand and fight. You have pressed the Special Unit Abilities button for the first time. This activates any special formations or abilities of the selected unit. As you select different units, you will see the button change. If the selected unit does not have a special ability, the button will become a red circle with a line through it.
Mounted crossbowmen! Archers of Anis! Mounted crossbowmen! Mounted crossbowmen! Move on! Move! Spread out! Infantry! March! Run! Order! Ready!
The enemy has brought up artillery to bombard your forces. Use a cavalry unit to skirt around the enemy army and attack the artillery from behind. You have attacked and destroyed artillery belonging to the enemy. If they have more artillery, you should attack them at once, before your foes have a chance to mobilize and retaliate. Will be able to run down your missile infantry. Keep a melee unit nearby them so that your archers can run behind it to safety. Gunpowder weapons are capable of piercing many types of medieval armor. The amount of armor penetrated depends on the power of the weapon. The handgun is able to pierce early types of armor. The arquebus can defeat most standard armors. Finally, the musket is able to penetrate nearly any armor in the world. Your missile units can also attack in hand-to-hand combat if needed. Select your missile units, hold down the Alt key, and right-click on the unit you wish to engage in melee. If your infantry are about to be charged by cavalry, make sure they are stationed. That way they can brace themselves against the impact and will take fewer losses. Left-click the Show Me How button to zoom to your unit. Unlike archers, your handgunners, arquebusiers, and musketeers cannot fire over the heads of their own men. Do not place troops between your gunners and their intended targets. Unlike archers, your handgunners, arquebusiers, and musketeers cannot fire over the heads of their own men. Do not place troops between your gunners and their intended targets. Once your men are in combat, you can make them break off by double right-clicking on a point behind them. This can be a useful trick if your men are faster than the enemy. When using this tactic, however, it is inevitable that you will lose a few men.
The Lord above is kind. We have captured him.
When cavalry charge, they cause extra casualties due to the momentum of their attack. A cycle of charge, withdraw, charge causes maximum casualties for minimum losses. Repeat until done. Group all your heavy cavalry together and move them to a flank. Wait until you have pinned the enemy army, then move in from the flank and crush them. The best way to clear away enemy missile infantry is a direct cavalry charge. However, be wary of them retreating to terrain that is difficult for your cavalry to manage, or where there are friendly units that could threaten you. When you have more than one group of heavy cavalry at your disposal, you may wish to move them all to the same flank. This provides you with the strongest attack possible to break the enemy formation.
Praise the enemy are overcome. This is a great victory, worthy of